Hi, Heron and Riverside students. My name is Miss Peck and I teach both chemistry and physics. So if you are watching this video, you will hear my voice and see my face a lot, even if you don't have me in class. Today we're going to learn all about writing really good emails that you will be able to use this skill probably for the rest of your life. So why is this important? This is an essential skill. As you guys know, internet is taking over the world, especially in this virtual world. You need to be able to email teachers, maybe different students, potential employers, college professors. If you want to get a job, you might have to send in your resume somewhere. And so really good emails can really be beneficial to your future and what you want to do. Good emails can limit miscommunication. So you guys have probably had miscommunications via text before if you're not clear in your text. And the same thing can happen in emails. So we want to make sure that we always communicate our messages clearly in emails. And then emails can leave impressions on people, whether it be good or bad. And our goal is to always leave good impressions on the people you're sending emails to. And we can do this by being clear with what we want, being polite, and using good grammar, spelling, punctuation, all that good stuff. And then also good emails can save time. I love efficiency and I hate emails that that are confusing and I need to ask more information. So we're going to talk today about how you can send emails that have good information and that can actually save us time in the long run. So when we're writing an email, we are always going to want to use our Heron and Riverside email when you are doing anything with e-learning for school. We want to have a descriptive subject, a greeting, a detailed message, and a closing, and we'll talk a little bit more about that here. We're going to start with some bad examples. Unfortunately, I have a lot of bad examples for different reasons, so try not to be like these examples, and you're going to learn how to not write emails like this. So this is an email I got last year, and all it says is, am I able to remediate the Muller math test? I don't see a subject. It wasn't sent from the Heron Riverside email, so I might not even know who it is. I don't see a greeting. I don't see, it's not very descriptive, like when do you want to remediate or retake the test? What have you done to show you've mastered that material? There's no thank you, Miss Feck, or sincerely so-and-so student, scholar. So not very descriptive, missing a lot of our major parts. Another one says, is there any way I can raise my grade a little higher? This email frustrates me and I get this email very often. And I want to know, what are you going to do without just coming to me? I want you to brainstorm ways that we can raise your grade because I'm just going to send it right back to you and we're going to waste time. So kind of think through things before you email it. What can you do if you run into challenges? How can you solve the problem before even bringing it up to your teacher? And of course, we're always here to answer emails and questions, but we want to send descriptive emails that tell your teacher more about what's going on. Another one says, please check my assignments. I've turned in a significant amount. This was sent on a Friday afternoon. We've probably already turned off our computers for the day. School's ended. And this doesn't sound very polite. Like, yes, we used a please, but there's no greeting, there's no signature, and this just like makes it sound like it's the teacher's fault and we have to get it going. And then another one is, it just says, hello, I've been turning in everything that you say is missing. Are you not getting any of my work? This sounds pretty aggressive. This student had just turned in work, and I can't just get things graded right away. We all have a lot to do, as I know you guys have a lot to do too. So just make sure that you're being polite in emails. Another thing is, this grammar isn't great. So, for example, we don't have much punctuation. We're missing some punctuation after hello, and there's a couple other sentences missing punctuation. And then I also noticed that like the student didn't spell out you, and that's okay if you're texting a friend like that. However, in emails, we want to make sure we always spell out our words completely. And that's just because emails we can think of as a little more formal and more professional than just sending a text message to someone. Now I'm going to show you one of my examples, and then I'll show you a student example. So if you go to Heron High School, you know that we have a new principal, and the new principal doesn't really know me. We've only met virtually, And so it's important that I send a good impression to her and that I'm detailed in my emails. She has a lot going on too. So this is an example email that I might have to send her because we need to always take safety precautions when we're in the science classroom. So I sent her the email from my email address. I have a 1 to 5 word summary of our subject, science safety form, because I needed her to fill out a form. I have a greeting. I said good afternoon. I could have said hello, anything like that. And then I said, as we conduct labs and science classes, it is important that safety is our #1 priority. So I'm giving her a preface. Why is this safety form even important? And then I said, I'm attaching a safety form that needs to be completed by the head of school. So I'm giving her the information she needs. I'm giving her the form. Then I asked her politely, can you please complete it and send it back to me by Friday afternoon? I was very specific exactly when I needed it done. And then I said, let me know if you have any questions. So it was just trying to be polite. And then I have a closing and a signature. And this is a signature that always pops up at the end of my emails. And if you need help, I can help you get a signature on your emails as well. Or you can just Google it. And you can set a signature so that you don't always have to type your name. But then throughout the email, notice I have proper grammar and spelling all throughout it. Then here's a good example from a student. He has a very nice subject line, missing chemistry assignments. I know exactly what it's going to be, what the email is going to be about before I even read it. It is sent from his Heron High School email address. He has just Miss Feck, which is just fine. He tells me who it is, what chemistry class he is in. He told me that he completed big assignments and he was super specific with what assignments it was so that I know to grade those right away. He told me his plan as well, and he was really polite and said, the first 2 haven't been entered in the grade book yet, but that's okay, you probably haven't seen them. Super polite, but also reminding me to make sure I see them. And then he asked me to put them in, which is just fine the way he asked. He said it would be very helpful. Then he said, thank you so much. He had a greeting and a signature, but I took that out. So it's a really great example. Now it's your turn. You will be sending your science teacher an email following the correct protocols that we just went through. So we went through some bad examples and 2 good examples. So we want to make sure we're following those good examples. And in that email, we want you to include your favorite song. So we want to hear what your favorite songs are so that we can give them a listen. So you can tell us why it's your favorite song, or you can make it very basic. But throughout your email, you should send it from your Heron High School, Riverside High School email. If you have trouble accessing that, let your teacher know. You should have a subject. Then send it to your teacher's email that is found on their Science Google Classroom page. Have a greeting, a body of the email that has great grammar and spelling. And then make sure you have a polite closure in your signature. If you have any questions or problems, make sure to let your teacher know, and this is due before the next class. Thanks, guys.